I've been getting a lot of questions on how I'm mounting these handheld lights to rifles, and so we're going to go through and address those things. Something to consider is that I am putting handheld lights, budget lights on rifles because I have a bunch of long guns and they serve different purposes. Primarily, I have extra rental guns for classes, or someone's traded me a rifle and I didn't want to say no, so I just have an extra rifle that I definitely don't need. It could be cachet guns. It could be you have extra guns like I do or whatever. But if you only got like one or two rifles, I would recommend getting the best light for it, not a budget light. And so like looking at these lights, the POWERTAC M5G3, it's 2000 lumens, but it's a lower candela. So that means it's not going to reach out as far. And this isn't going to do as good of a job defeating like lights on a car, or if I got three dudes shining X300 turbos at me, super high candela, like I'm not going to defeat that light with it. But since I got these extra guns, I wouldn't want them to not be fight ready, so I put flashlights on them. And I would rather do that at less than $100 per rifle than to spend like $400 or $500 on every gun having the latest and greatest light, and then a year or two from now to have to go back and replace those because now the better thing is out. Like if you only got like one or two guns or a small amount of long guns, I would put on the best purpose-built weapon mount light, not a budget light. But if you've got a bunch of long guns already, I would recommend you spend money on training, okay? Like I would way rather you, even if you only had one rifle, I'd rather you have a budget light on that rifle than you be worried about impressing, whatever gay Facebook group you're in with your build, and then not have medical training and bleed to death like a dumb fuck in a car accident and let your kids bleed to death. So think about your priorities. If you're spending money on gear and not training, you're a fucking problem. Anyways, let's get into this. So the POWERTAC M5G3, I actually tested that. If you're going to put some budget light on a bunch of guns, test it before you choose that one. I'm fine with this one. I have like 14 of them, and I have one I need to send back because when it came to me, it wasn't working. Okay. But I tested on taking it through classes with an AR and with an AK. And then I mounted one on a pump shotgun. I took it through advanced fighting shotgun and tactical response. If there's a gun that's going to break my weapon mount light, it's going to be a pump shotgun more than likely. So that's where I was like, okay, now I can just buy these and put them on guns as I get more guns. And one of the issues I came into was this light has a 0.85 inch body, and most of the mounts out there are bigger than that. Usually they're 1 inch holes on those mounts. Now, sometimes the mounts come with shims or something, but one easy solution is, like I have on this rifle, just wrap electric tape around the light. That will shim it into position. You can get it done like that. What I found to be a better solution, like I have on this rifle, was I did 2 layers of heat shrink wrap around the body of the light, and it looks nicer. There's not going to be any glue goo melting onto my gun, and that works good. Now, for the mounts, like POWERTAC has mounts on their website. I've used them. Yeah, they work. They're not great, though. They're very cheap mounts. I wanted to try out Monstrum because I've seen a bunch of products from them as a budget brand, and honestly, like I'm all for getting the best bang for your buck. And so I've been trying those out. They work fine, but similar to the POWERTAC ones, like if you're gonna remount this light on a different rifle, just buy another mount because that mount is probably gonna have to get cut apart. Like the screws get stripped very easily. They get rusted out. The mount itself is fine. It's usually the biggest issues with the screws. And if you can't get the screws out, well, then you end up having to cut apart your mount with either a angle grinder or a Dremel tool. And I've had to go through that. So like I said, if you're using these budget mounts, then just go ahead and buy another one when you go to remount it. Now, another reason why I'm using these is because the mounts that used to be available for putting a handheld light on a rifle just are not common anymore. It's being pushed towards Surefire scout bodies primarily. Like that's usually the thing you see, and so it's more being driven towards purpose-built weapon mounted lights, and all the mounts are just variations on how to put that on your gun, and they're very expensive too. So something to keep in mind. Like I said, if you only got one gun, yeah, you should probably have that on it. I would rather have the most powerful light on that. But if you are in a situation where you're trying to put a handheld light on a gun, well, there's just not a lot of options, and that's why I tried Monstrum. Now, I found they're fine, but like I said, you got to replace it if you're going to put it onto another gun after that. So maybe when you buy a mount, just buy 2 of them, because they're also not expensive, like 10 or $5 depending on what mount, and it'll be fine. Now, here I've got one on M-LOK that puts at the 45-degree angle. Here I've got one on Picatinny rail that puts at the 12 o'clock position. I've also got on an AK that puts it at the 6 o'clock position. They also have one that puts it off at the 45-degree angle that mounts to a pick rail. And yeah, all those have been working fine. It's just like when I go to change it, I've usually had to cut it apart. I have been able to change a few, but especially being out here in Florida where you have to swim to get to your car because it's so fucking humid, like those things get rusted out. So anyways, that's it. If you got any questions, let me know. I've been enjoying making videos and responses to questions. But training coming up, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Kentucky, of course, Florida. Lots of classes going on in Florida. Tactical Response is coming to Florida. There's a link to my calendar below. Don't forget about the Combat Arts Summit in Gray, Kentucky at Taprack Ridge, September 27th and 28th. You want some force-on-force training? We are doing Proving Grounds pistol the day before on a Friday. So check those out. Links in the description below. Thank you for watching. Keep fighting communism. Kill all pedophiles. And remember that training saves lives.